Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to get our hands dirty with construction innovation. We're exploring the surprising partnership between drones and
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Ugh.
that's right. We're taking cues from the Construction Innovators podcast, and they use this kind of unusual pairing to shed light on the changing landscape of the industry.
It might sound a little strange at first, but the Thanksgiving story actually gives us a powerful framework for understanding how drones are really revolutionizing construction.
Okay.
Right.
I'm intrigued. So the podcast compares the pilgrims, arriving in its completely new world
Right.
to the construction industry, which is kind of facing this wave of new technology. They're both sort of stumbling around, unsure of how to thrive in this unfamiliar territory.
Exactly. The Pilgrims had their, traditional European ways of doing things, just like the construction industry has relied on these established methods for centuries. But both were encountering these challenges that demanded a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
Enter the Native Americans, who had an intimate knowledge of the land and its resources.
Ah, I see where this is going. The Native Americans, with their deep understanding of the construction landscape, are like the drones of today.
Yes.
They can see things we can't from the ground, like potential problems, right?
Precisely. Imagine the Pilgrims trying to build their settlements without knowing where the best resources were, or if the ground was even stable.
Right.
They could have really used a drone equipped with LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging. It's like radar, but with lasers. And it lets drones create these incredibly detailed 3D maps of an area.
Wow.
We're talking about pinpointing the exact location of a potential sinkhole
Wow.
before you even break ground. That's the
What?
kind of knowledge that can make or break a project.
That's incredible. So instead of weeks of surveying with teams on the ground, you can map out a 100-acre site in an afternoon with a drone.
Exactly. And it's not just about speed, it's about accuracy. Drones can collect data with a level of precision that's simply not possible with traditional methods. This means better planning, fewer costly mistakes, and ultimately safer construction projects.
Okay. So drones are clearly bringing a lot to the table. But I think a lot of people in the construction industry might be thinking, hold on, are these drones coming to take our jobs? What does the Construction Innovators podcast have to say about that?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. But the podcast makes it clear that drones aren't replacing human workers. It's all about collaboration. Just like the Pilgrims and Native Americans ultimately had to work together to survive and thrive.
Right. So it's not humans versus drones, it's humans and drones.
Exactly. Think of it this way. The Pilgrims brought their shipbuilding skills and knowledge of agriculture, while the Native Americans brought their understanding of the land, the plants, and the animals. They each had their own expertise. And by combining their strengths, they were able to create something new and successful.
I love how the podcast uses the Thanksgiving feast as a metaphor for this collaboration. Each dish, like the mashed potatoes or the cranberry sauce, represents a different way drones contribute to the project.
Yeah.
They're bringing data on measurements, aerial footage, safety checks, progress reports.
You got it. It's
Yeah.
a feast of technological insights, and it's all designed to help human workers do their jobs better and more efficiently. But just like you wouldn't have a Thanksgiving feast without the main course.
We're still the chefs.
Right.
Humans are still the ones bringing the big picture thinking, the creativity, and the problem-solving skills to the table. Drones might be able to spot a crack in a foundation, but it's a human engineer who figures out how to fix it.
Precisely. It's this partnership that will ultimately shape the future of construction. So if drones are bringing all the sides and fixings to this metaphorical Thanksgiving meal.
We're still bringing the turkey and the stuffing, the heart of the construction project.
Exactly. And that's why the podcast emphasizes that human expertise remains absolutely essential in this new era of construction.
So we've got our Thanksgiving table set with all these amazing technological dishes that drones are bringing. But I'm curious to hear about how this feast is playing out in the real world. What are some specific examples of drone-human collaboration in action?
Well, let's start with something that would make even the bravest pilgrim weak in the knees. Bridge inspection.
Uh-oh.
Imagine you're tasked with inspecting a massive suspension bridge, hundreds of feet above the water. Traditionally, this would involve scaffolding, harnesses, and a whole lot of risk.
Yeah, I'll pass on that assignment.
Right. But with drones, it's a completely different story. A drone equipped with high-definition cameras can zoom under the bridge deck, capturing every detail of the structure, from the cables to the rivets.
So it's like having a tiny, fearless inspector that can get into places humans can't or shouldn't.
Exactly. And it's not just about safety. Drones can also spot things the human eye might miss. Imagine a drone equipped with thermal imaging, detecting a slight temperature difference. That indicates a potential structural weakness. That's the kind of early detection that can prevent catastrophic failures down the line.
That's amazing. It sounds like drones are not just making inspections safer, but they're making them more thorough and effective.
Absolutely. And the applications go far beyond bridges. Drones are being used to inspect everything from wind turbines to power lines to pipelines. They can cover vast distances quickly and efficiently, providing a level of detail and insight that was simply unimaginable before.
Okay. But what about more delicate projects? You mentioned historical landmarks earlier. It seems like drones would be perfect for those kinds of sensitive restoration efforts.
You're right on the mark. Think about the restoration of a historic cathedral, with all its intricate carvings and fragile stained glass windows. Sending humans up on scaffolding to inspect every inch would be time-consuming, expensive, and potentially risky to the structure itself.
Right. But a drone could just zip around taking high-res photos and 3D scans of everything.
Precisely. And not just photos. We're talking about creating incredibly detailed 3D models using LiDAR. These models capture every nook and cranny of the building, allowing preservationists to plan the restoration work with pinpoint accuracy.
So it's like having a digital blueprint of the cathedral, but even more precise because it captures the current condition of every single stone and timber.
Exactly. And these 3D models can also be used to create virtual tours, allowing people to experience these historic treasures even if they can't physically visit them.
That's fantastic. It really highlights the potential of drones to bridge the gap between the physical and digital world.
Absolutely. And that's just scratching the surface. Drones are also being used to monitor the progress of construction projects, create time-lapse videos that show a building rising from the ground, and even deliver small but crucial materials to hard-to-reach areas on a construction site.
Wait, drones delivering stuff on a job site? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But it's happening right now. Imagine a drone carrying a specialized tool to a worker on the top floor of a skyscraper under construction. It's faster, safer, and more efficient than sending someone on a long climb.
It's mind-blowing to see how quickly this technology is changing the construction landscape, and it all comes back to that collaboration we talked about.
Exactly. Drones are providing the eyes in the sky, the data, the access, while humans are using their expertise, creativity, and judgment to make sense of it all and build something amazing.
It's like the podcast said, the Pilgrims might not have had drones, but they had the Native Americans to help them navigate this new world. And in a way, we have the same kind of partnership today.
It's a fascinating parallel,
Mhm.
and it makes you wonder what other unexpected collaborations might be possible in the future. But before we get too lost in speculation, let's bring it back to the present. There are some incredible examples of large-scale drone construction projects happening right now.
Okay, I'm all ears. Are we talking about drones building entire buildings?
We are. There are projects underway where drones are being used for everything from site preparation and surveying to delivering materials and even laying bricks.
Wow, laying bricks. I never imagined drones could be that precise.
It's still early days, but the technology is advancing rapidly. Imagine a team of drones working together, guided by a human operator, laying bricks with perfect precision and speed.
That's a vision of the future I never even considered.
It's exciting, isn't it? And this is just the beginning. As drone technology continues to evolve, the possibilities for construction are truly limitless.
It's incredible to think that we could be on the verge of a construction revolution, with drones building entire neighborhoods. That brings to mind the Thanksgiving analogy again.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that innovation often comes from those unexpected collaborations, from blending different perspectives and approaches, just as the Pilgrims and the Native Americans learned from each other and created something new. We're now entering an era where humans and drones are working together to reshape our world.
And it's not just about bricks and mortar, right? This technology has implications for sustainability, affordability, and accessibility in construction.
Exactly. Imagine using drones to construct affordable housing in remote areas or disaster-stricken regions, or using them to build energy-efficient structures with minimal environmental impact. The possibilities are truly exciting.
It sounds like the Construction Innovators podcast was spot on with their Thanksgiving analogy. Just like that first feast, we're witnessing the birth of a new era of collaboration, one that could change the face of construction as we
Right.
know it.
And just like the Pilgrims and Native Americans, we're still figuring things out, navigating uncharted territory. There will be challenges, there will be setbacks, But there's also an incredible sense of possibility, a sense that we're on the cusp of something truly transformative.
It's been an eye-opening deep dive into the world of construction innovation. If our listener is involved in construction or just fascinated by technology, I think they're walking away with a whole new perspective on what's possible.
I hope so. And if they ever see a drone flying over a construction site, they'll know it's not just a cool gadget, it's a partner, a collaborator, and a sign that the future of building is taking flight.
It makes you wonder if drones can transform construction, what other industries are ripe for this kind of technological collaboration, what unexpected partnerships might the future hold. That's something to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.